This is lesson 3.7b. We're going to be seeing if a value for a variable makes an inequality true. So we're going to see if that value for the variable is a solution to the inequality by plugging in the value. So let's start by looking at example 3 here. The word problem says a long jumper who jumps at least 18 feet qualifies for the finals. Which athletes, if any, qualify for the finals? So if I think of a number line here, and we're doing a long jump, so we are starting at 0. Long jumping is part of like track and field. So you start at 0. And then a person would have to jump all the way to 18 to make the finals. So it says a long jumper who jumps at least 18 feet qualifies for the finals. So if someone jumps 15 feet, do you think that they would qualify for the finals? No, they wouldn't, because you'd have to jump to at least 18 feet. What about if someone jumps to 20 feet? Would they qualify for the finals? Yes, they could, because that's even further than the 18 feet. So when we're thinking of a solution for this inequality, we're going to be thinking of numbers that are greater than or equal to 18. So we're going to have to use the inequality. X is greater than or equal to 18. And I want you to make sure you have that inequality written in your notebook. So if we look at the long jump results here, we can see how far everyone jumped. So Amir jumped 2 1/3 feet. So let's plug in. So Amir, and now we want to plug in using the inequality. So instead of saying X, we're going to say 22 1/3 because that's what the chart tells us how far Amir jumped. So is 22 1/3 greater than or equal to 18? Notice how I plugged that value in for how far Amir jumped into the inequality, and now I'm looking to see, is it true or is it false? Is it a solution or is it not a solution? It's a solution. We could put an S there for solution. Now let's look at Jake. How far did Jake jump? Jake jumped 16 feet. So if I plug in that value 16 for X into that inequality, is 16 greater than or equal to 18? No, it's not. So it's not a solution. I'm going to write NS for no solution. Now let's look at Tyrell. Tyrell jumped 18.5 feet. So if I write 18.5 is 18.5 greater than or equal to 18. Is that a solution to this equation? Yes, it is. It's a solution. And lastly, we have Ryan. Ryan jumped 20.5 feet. So is 20.5 a solution to the equation? Is 20.5 greater than or equal to 18? Yes, it is. It's a solution. So if I look at the question, it says, which athletes, if any, qualified for the finals? Oh, I actually like look at how the book crossed off for Jake, where we said it's not a solution. They put a line through it because it is not, 16 is not greater than or equal to 18. So now I want to see whichever numbers here are solutions to the equation, those people qualified for finals. So we would have Amir, Tyrell, and Ryan all qualified for the long jump finals. So the directions for number 8, 9, and 10 say substitute each given value of the variable to find which, if any, is a solution of the inequality. So if we start by looking at number 8, in your notebook, let's write number 8, and let's copy that inequality. W is less than 8. Now we're going to have to plug in these 4 values for W. Remember those commas just separate a different value. So we could plug in 4.3. We'll have to plug in 5.3. We'll have to plug in 8.3, and we'll have to plug in 9. And we're going to see which values for the variable are solutions, which values make the equation true. So let's start by plugging in that 4.3. So 4.3, I'm going to use that same sign and bring down the 8. The only thing that we're changing is that W, because now they gave us values for W. So we're taking that value for W and we're plugging it into the inequality. So is 4.3 less than 8? Is that a solution to the equation? Yes, it is. It's a solution. I'm going to write solution. Okay, that way we're getting more used to using that word solution. Let's try the next one, 5.3. If we plug it in, so I'm going to rewrite that equation. Instead of writing W, I'm going to plug in that value for W, 5.3. Use the same inequality sign, less than, bring down the 8. So is 5.3 less than 8 is a solution, or is it not a solution? Yes, it is a solution. Okay, try the next one. What value would you plug in for W? So we did 4.3, we did 5.3. Next, we're going to do 8.3. Is 8.3 less than 8? No, it's not. So it's no solution, or not a solution. And last one here, let's try 9. So plug in 9 into that value for W. Is 9 less than 8? No, it is not. So again, we say no solution. So here we're just plugging in the value for those variables and seeing if the inequality is true or false. Last question, let's look at 10. So in your notebook, write 10 and copy the inequality. G, how do we read this sign? It's G is less than or equal to 4. So let's plug in each of these 4 values for G. So we have 0, 4, 5, and 6. So first, instead of writing G, we're going to plug in that first value for G, 0. Is 0 less than or equal to 4? Yes, it is. It is a solution. We used 0. Next, let's try 4. So we plug in, is 4 less than or equal to 4? Yes, it is. It is a solution. 4 is equal to 4. Now let's try 5. If I plug 5 into this equation, is this true? Is it a solution or is it not a solution? It is not a solution. 5 is not less than or equal to 4. So I'm going to say NS, no solution. And the last one, let's try 6. Is 6 less than or equal to 4? No, it's not. No solution. So to solve these types of inequalities, we're just plugging in the value and seeing if the inequality is true or false.